All right, we're live, mate. We'll see if it's working. There you go, peeps, mate. For yous coming in, probably going to have to say this a couple of times, but Blair's not coming on. He's got to build a wall. You know, he's a carpenter. He's busy. He's working late. He's got home too late. And he's got to travel to use the computer at someone's residence. So it's going to be a busy night for him. So he's pulled out. Hopefully we can get him next week. It's not a major issue. It wasn't meant to be like a big thing, but a lot of people like to hear what Blair has to say. And I don't blame him. Blair's full of knowledge, and he's taught me a lot of things about nationalism and what's going on. So, but yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was really looking forward to getting Blair on. Jared was going to come on as well with Blair, but so it's just me and Jared tonight, and we're just going to shoot the shit for about 30 minutes. After all the hype, it was like one post, man, but everyone went nuts. They want to hear what Blair has to say. Jared knows Blair. He's met him a few times. What do you think of Blair, Jared?
Yeah, he seems like a good bloke. So it's a shame he didn't come on, but hopefully next week or week after you'll be able to get him.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. He's always going to be around. Got him in my phone. Thanks for the $5. Elijah, mate, what's with the cash, mate? You cashed up, right?
I'm just doing well. Yeah.
Mate, what are you in stocks? Day trading? Oh, here we go. A few comments come up. So if you're tuning in a bit late, mate, Blair's had to build a wall around Melbourne, so he can't make it. Where did you post? I posted on my YouTube community. I don't know, a lot of people don't kind of see that come up, but yeah, it's in the community. I should have posted on Gab as well, but I had a suspicion Blair was going to work late because he did pre-warn me. He said advertise it, but we'll see what happens. I could pull out at any moment, but yeah, he's always busy, mate. He's always working. He works like carpenters work like freaking 14 hours a day, mate. Like dark till dark. You know, you're a tradie too, aren't you, Jared?
Yeah, I'm a painter, so we don't work that much. Yeah, especially I'm the boss, so yeah, 5 or 6 hours and we're done.
Oh, nice. Painting's good, yeah. Is it hard to learn?
Nah, not really. Nah, a bit of a system, but once you got that down pat, it's easy enough.
Old mate Lyndon's a painter too, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I've
He's been painting for years.
Yeah.
He used to rake in the cash, mate. He used to live in an apartment in the city. I think it was like $1,000 rent a week. It was like a penthouse. And he was making a fortune back in the day, I remember. He was working for a big building company.
The money's good. Yeah, if you get into the right contracts, money's all right.
Oh, yeah, if you get in the union sites and
you
do all right.
Stay away from builders. New houses and that, there was nothing in them. You've got to bloody do the repaints and the insurance work and shit like that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. There's always work. What about plastering? Like, I did a bit of plaster because I was a bricklayer for like a year, a brookie's apprentice actually, for about a year when I was younger, when I was about 16. And I noticed plasterers, you never needed to go to TAFE to be a plasterer, and all of a sudden now you got to go to TAFE. Do you need an apprenticeship or something?
Yeah, you got to do an apprenticeship for plastering. Yeah, same as painting, 4 years.
What? Because when I went to TAFE, man, it was only bricklaying, electricians, plumbing, and boilermakers. Yeah, I never remembered that shit being in. I think it's just a cash grab, mate. It's like, you want to paint? All right, we'll charge you like $1,500 for a 16-week pre-app course, you know?
Well, you can get your qualifications now, so you get a recognition of prior learning. That's how I got mine. So I paid for 15 years first, but they ask you maybe 10 questions. You just supply a few photos of you on the job, get someone to sign it off, and $2,500 later, and they give you your bloody qualifications.
Yeah, it's all for cash, mate. Yeah. Big cash grab. You want to go fishing in this country, buy a license. You know, you want to go camping. You got to get a permit. You want to go gold mining, because we've been thinking about going gold foraging. And there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of money to go into it, mate. Anywhere near the water, you should be able to go gold mining. Like, I don't get why we're going to buy these licenses. It's total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and then you don't own the gold anyway. It still belongs to the government. So.
Yeah, well, anything on the water, I think, is ours. Or the Queen's land. I think we can use it.
Yeah. All
right, here we go. Yeah, because we haven't been watching the news. Well, I haven't in the last week. So if you got anything to talk about, just chuck it in. We probably won't be up for that long. So thoughts on Greens being in bed with that BLM Marxist? Well, I'm not surprised. Are you, Jared, that the Greens are in bed with Marxists?
No, well, someone's got to push it, don't they? So I wonder who's sponsoring the whole thing.
Friggin' who's the puppet master? I wonder. of all this BLM. You know, it's George Soros. We know that. A few others. But look, let them go, man. Let them go. Let them do what they want to do. I just wish we could get the same freedom. You know, like Don Jr. got banned off Twitter yesterday for that video. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't see it.
Some doctor went to the White House, a bunch of doctors, to meet Trump, and this African-American doctor, who's an actual doctor, said that she's treated 350 COVID patients with hydrochloroquine. How do you pronounce it? Hydrochloride?
Yeah, hydrochloride.
It's the one that Trump's taking. And she said she's had 0 deaths. It works 100%. And she's a doctor. So Don Jr. shared it on Twitter, and they banned him. They didn't ban him. They restricted him. He can't post for a week or something because he dared to share a doctor talking about COVID. So
yeah, absolutely crazy, isn't it?
I don't know what's going on, mate.
No,
it's just going to die out. This flu is just going to die out eventually, and everyone's going to look like fucking idiots. There was a politician on the news the other night. I forget where it was. It was in Europe, I think, and they were meeting at some summit. And she gets out of the car, some blonde-headed woman, like middle-aged woman, and she gets out of the car, and the car drove off, and everyone's wearing masks, and she's like, "Oh, I left my mask," and she's grabbing her face like she's having a hyperventilating, like, "Oh, I've left my mask in the car," and she's running after the car like a total fucking idiot. Like, this shit's embarrassing, man.
Yeah, it's gotten out of control. Absolutely crazy.
But not much has been happening. I haven't been following the news. I hear about it. I to be honest, I haven't watched the news, like Channel 7 News, unless a mate's on it or, someone's, I don't know who's posting the phone number. Is that your phone number, Elijah? Have you got a computer? I could chuck you on if you want. So what was I getting at? I was saying something. I forget.
Once you train of thought with me, it's gone, though.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, so hey, we come onto the live. Me and Blair, we're going to talk about the old days of UPF and what went on and all the shenanigans that went on. But obviously Blair's not here, so we won't get too much into it. But Black Eve, don't know what that is.
Oh, that's Sheila. She got arrested today. They got
that
on
chick.
The bloody. Yeah, the one that crossed over the border.
She's not bad looking, mate. She's a bit easy on the eye.
Hey, they smashed through her window to get her.
Yeah, but she's been a bit hysterical, mate. There are fucking mentals everywhere. Like, it's like you have a bowl of, like, I think Alex Jones used this terminology. You have a bowl of like like a beautiful casserole or something, and it's a good bowl. Everyone's going to eat out of it, and then someone like her comes and takes a fucking dump in it, bro. Like, I'm not being rude to her, I agree with her, but the way these people act, think about optics, man. Don't cry, and don't.
Yeah, well, they're doing it for themselves. They're self-promoting. So I was on Know Your Rights last night talking to that Mike Palmer, and that's what they were saying. They were saying the people going about it the wrong way by posting it, because you're renegotiating a contract with the police. So when you do that, you should keep that in the private, and putting it out in the public, it's forcing their hand, where they may be in the wrong, but they have to be seen to act one way or the other, just to bloody keep everyone.
They don't understand. They don't understand the concept of propaganda, yeah. And I've been trying to teach this to people, and it's not like I've learned this out of a book. It's just common sense, yeah. So when we used to have rallies, yeah, if you get over 100 people for a rally, that's good propaganda. Doesn't matter what happens at the rally. You get 100 people there, and the media cover it. That's good. If you can't get 100 people for a rally, what's next? What do? You do one man versus 1,000. That is good propaganda. People don't get that, yeah. But the point of it is, if you are to produce some form of propaganda, and like, what's her name? That girl's name, Thunberg. Perfect example of propaganda. Yeah. So you get one little girl sitting outside of a business with a sign saying "Save the world." Like, it's one little girl versus the world. That's why it was so powerful. And I get it. Yeah, that's very good propaganda. And it was set up, obviously, but these people don't understand, especially that chick that went to Bunnings. Yeah, like. You have a good argument there. You could make something out of that. But instead, she was the aggressive one. You don't do that. If you're the one person versus you're meant to look innocent, and they're meant to look aggressive. The key to propaganda is let them get aggressive on you, and you stay calm and collected. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You go home and scrap the video. But if you want to use propaganda, do it right. Like, be one person versus 100. Look like an underdog, and then you can get your message across. Instead, this fucking menopausal woman, and I'm not knocking her, but she just fits that that Karen stereotype. He's going in there screaming. Like, I get her argument, but dude, do it correctly. It doesn't take much intelligence to figure it out. The left know it.
She turns you off. Once she starts ranting and raving, you straight away you tune off to it, so you don't feel any sympathy for her. So you need people to feel for your cause.
And one thing I regret.
That's your whole stick these days. One thing
I regret from the whole movement is I should have said this shit to people. I tried to, but we should have been totally on top of it, because one friggin' retard can bring down a whole 100-man crew. Like, it's total. We should have been so much stronger on people coming to the rallies and people acting the fool. You know?
Yeah. There's one rules it for everybody.
Oh, they can. It's like we had that rally. UPF's first rally, we called it outside of Stephen Jolly's office, and it was a great rally. I think we had 70 people, which is pretty good. It was late notice and it was new, and and so Matty didn't want to come on, mate. He's busy, and so we went outside Stephen Jolly's town hall in Richmond. We had 70 crew. It was going good. We had Sherman, Blair, Sewell, myself, Chris Shortis. It was the start of the UPF. Great propaganda. It was 70 of us versus like 3,000 lefties. I throwing batteries, rocks. It was awesome for propaganda. And yet we have some fucking dickhead who's a plan. I don't think he works at the government, but he's definitely a dickhead. He has a swastika on his t-shirt, covers it up with like a jacket. And as soon as this Indian woman comes out and starts arguing, she was looking like an idiot, and he just rips his shirt out with a big swastika. I didn't see it, man. I was filming, I didn't even see it. We get up to the top, and Sherman goes, "Hey, that fucking dude's got a swastika t-shirt." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I go, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, are you fucking mental? Like, these people are just idiots." And look, I could sit here and say, "Oh, this is a plant, a psyop." No, it's not. It's just there's retards out there, man. There's spastics that just want attention, and they're willing to do anything for it.
That's the majority of people, I think.
Majority of people, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just looking at how this. Not the COVID itself, but the response from the government shows the actual IQ level of the population. It's just, I can't believe people are falling for it. Like, I can't believe people are just going absolutely bonkers. There was an Italian dude, I seen a video earlier, and he was talking about, it was some dude on the street in Italy, and he couldn't get any pasta off the shelf. He's like, "Mate, I was alive when World War II started. It was never this bad. What are the people are insane?"
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. The second lockdown proved it. Once everyone went back into lockdown after the first one, that was enough. Yeah, that's when you could tell, like, we're in trouble. If people can't see through the bullshit now, they're never going to see it.
Oh yeah, it's scary. It's scary. Like, if they're going to be bamboozled by this crap, if the left ever take any form of power, we're fucked. Yeah. Like, unless we have some sort of resistance when that starts, it's coming. But look, I was watching the Bill Barr testimony late last night till early this morning. That was very interesting. The Democrats, they totally lost the plot.
Oh yeah, they're right off. You sent me that. I didn't actually get to see it. What happened?
So Bill Barr is the Attorney General, and a lot of people don't understand American politics. I don't even understand it, but I have a good gist on it. So the Attorney General is the top cop of the cops in America, who's appointed by the president. So like the police commissioner is appointed by not Gray Mashner, from Daniel Andrews. All right, same kind of thing, but he's meant to be not political. He's not meant to be an arm of the president. He's meant to just be the law and order, and he's doing everything by the book, by the law and order. But they're trying to make out that Trump's starting these protests, he's flaming it, and he's helping him with his election, and they just kept saying, like, they'll ask him a question because he's meant to be heard at a hearing. He's meant to tell his story. So they're saying, "What do you think about this?" And he goes to give an answer. They don't like the answer. "Excuse me, I'm taking back my time." Like, it was a total embarrassment, man. They're total fucking just spastics, man. It was kind of fucking hilarious. But this is how crazy they've gotten. They've got no argument anymore. It's either, okay, they've put themselves in the camp of extremist lefts or extremist Marxists. We already knew that, but they're being obvious about it now, and they can't get out of it. They can't say, "Oh, we're against the protest," because then their own supporter base will turn on them, which is a very small percentage. But the Rust Belt Americans are against it, and they know what's coming. They know the silent majority are going to eventually vote them out, and hopefully they. I'm not going to be too optimistic, but hopefully they get full control of the Republicans.
That'd be good, but the polls at the moment don't seem to be swinging that way. So, not that you can trust what the polls say.
Yeah,
it'd be
I'm not
interesting come
very.
election
What,
time.
92% chance, or 98% chance of Hillary winning the election that morning of.
Biden, Biden. Yeah, he's going to win and then step down and she'll take over. Yeah, but who knows what they're going to do.
I really don't care if Trump wins or not. I think it's win-win, even if he loses. Like, I think enough damage has been done to the establishment and the media. I don't think they're going to come back from it. So I think the damage is done. If Trump gets in, that's great. But I reckon it'll be even better in a way if he didn't get in.
I'm not sold on Trump. I was at the start, up until recently.
I
was in, but he's all he's done is increase the powers of the Federal Reserve. The things he said he was going to do, he didn't do. He talked about how bad the economy was, and now he's promoting it.
I get that. I'm not a bootlicker for Trump, yeah? I get that. But you got to remember, he's not a dictator, mate. And you got to get shit passed. You got to swindle and do deals. It's not like he can just walk in and say, all right, we're changing the rules. This is what we're doing. You can't do that, man. Like, you got to vote it in through Congress. It's got to go up, and you got to make deals. You got to let something slide. You got to. It's fucking hard, man. Like, people expect him to come in and just do it. I think he's done pretty well, but I obviously don't trust him. His son-in-law and a few people involved with him.
Well, even with the whole Pizzagate scandal and the released emails, it was an email between Bill Clinton and some other fella, and Bill Clinton actually said, for the next president, why don't we pick somebody like Donald Trump? That was his exact words, So that's a bloody, where there's smoke, there's flame.
Because it works. Because it works. It's called a populist candidate, and that's what they need, and that's what America wanted. And if the left had a strong populist candidate, which I did, Bernie Sanders, they could have got up there, but obviously because of corruption in their own party,
that's funny.
Hillary.
It's funny they used the name Donald Trump, and then however many months later, though, that he starts running for president. Coincidence, maybe.
Well,
I don't believe anything I see anymore. So
no, I don't. No, I'm like you, man. Like, I'll just see how it goes. But it's common sense, man. I don't solely put my chips in one bet. Like, scatter them around. Yeah. But anyway, guys, what's been going on? We're getting a few super chats from our mate Elijah. $5. He says, not sure how to hook in, so I don't know. Have a $5. I've got to get your email, mate, but I don't want to release what my personal email is on here, and I can send you the link. What else have we got? Did it work? I need your email, but I'm just trying to figure out how I can get your email without you posting it. I don't know how to do it. So what else has been going on, Joe? Just working, getting things together, and
keeping an eye on this bloody court case of Clive Palmer's that he's got against the WA bloody government at the moment. So that's
can you explain that to me? Can you explain that to me and the viewers in layman's terms? Because I don't really know what's going on. I haven't really followed it.
Well, Clive Palmer launched legal action against the WA government because he wanted to open the borders. They wouldn't let him into WA, and because he has so much money vested there, he's launched legal action. So they've tried to put it off since May. They keep postponing it, and basically they tried to postpone it again the other day, but the federal court in WA wouldn't accept that. So they ended up running with it Monday, and Scott Morrison's actually back in the case, and he came out today and said that it's very likely that Clive Palmer's going to win in his bid against the WA government. So. Which is good news for all of us, because effectively, if he wins, that should be a precedent across the board to open the rest of the borders. So hopefully, not too long now, and we should get some borders reopened, or at least WA border, which also works well for me.
Yeah. Look, I don't know about Clive. Like, a lot of people are against him. Him and that other mining chick.
Reinhardt, Gina Reinhardt, is that it?
Yeah, they're good people. Yeah. Like, I had some mates that worked for Clive during his election attempt. He's not a bad bloke, and he's smart with his money. He's not stupid.
He make that much money, you got to be smart.
Just because someone's rich doesn't make him a bad person, mate. And that's what this narrative the left and the Labor Party have been pushing forward for the last 30, 40 years. So what if someone's rich? I look at that, like, I mean, like, I'd like money. Yeah, cool. It'd be good to be rich. I'm not like a massive money obsessed with money, but when you look at someone who's rich, I don't just see, they're rich, they're a scumbag. I look they're rich. They're obviously smart. They know what they're doing. They're playing the system, and they're very intelligent people. So I don't look at rich people like as they're an enemy. I look at them like, well, they could probably help us, you know?
Yeah, well, it's all their actions, isn't it? You got to judge their actions, not their bloody wealth. So, yeah, a lot of rich people are good blokes, you know, do good things with their money and help people. So if they do that, you know, well, what could you complain about?
Yeah, I've met a lot of rich people during this movement. We had a lot of people who gave us money back in the day and tried to help us out. Obviously, keep their names out of it. But yeah, they're good people. They've got good hearts, and if they got money, it's like they used to always say things like, "Well, you do what you do, you and UPF, but the way I can help is with cash. I'll give you some cash." And that's their patriotism, because they got money, and we didn't have money, but we had a lot of charisma, and we had the finger on the pulse of the people. So, you know, these people aren't selfish. It does. Like, it wasn't money for like crazy shit. It was like travel expenses and all sorts of stuff like that. Banners, flags, and and then the supporters obviously helped out back then with some of the rallies, and it wasn't too bad. But not much has been happening with me. I'm just basically working on this court case with this gay church. That's all I've been kind of doing lately. I'm not really an activist, I'd say, anymore. Basically,
you haven't spoken to New South Wales police yet?
I contacted the court. I'll tell you privately what's going on with that. But I'm trying to enter New South Wales eventually.
Yeah. Well, we got till November.
Elijah, what's this dude, rich or something?
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen any of that money. I don't know. I don't even know how to cash in super chats. Does it just go into my bank? I don't know.
But that out. It's going to start adding up soon.
Well, yeah, it should. But yeah. So what else is going to say? Just my court case. I've just been busy with my court case. I talk to Andy Nolch nearly every day. He's in lockup now. He's trying to get out on appeal. Phil Galea had a hearing the other day for his case, and he took some advice from me, which, you know, like I did tell him. I said, mate, you want to do 10 years or 25 years? And I won't get too much into it. But my advice to him was just be honest, mate. Like the honest thing I think is the case is over now. So I can talk about it. I can't talk about everything, but dude, he's just trying to be a hero. He's a lonely guy. He's trying to be a hero. He's trying to show off the people, and that's his way of showing off, trying to pretend he's some sort of extremist or he's going to do something stupid. And I said, mate, you got to say that. You have to. That is what you were doing. Like, don't sit there and pretend there's some conspiracy. Because obviously the cops wanted to get someone on this charge, and obviously the media wanted it. But he gave it to him to do that. So he needs to just say, you know, like, if you don't know who Phil Galea is, he's the first white nationalist or right-winger charged with terrorism in Australia, which is total. I met the guy once, maybe twice. The first time I met him was at a rally, didn't even know who he was. And the second time I spoke to him because he was first arrested and the media was saying he was part of UPF. But as I said, he's just a shit talker. He got on the piss and said a bunch of shit. And there's some other things going on with that too. He wasn't the only one. This is the thing. I don't want to get too much into it because there is a court order. I don't know if it's still active, but he wasn't the only one. And let's just say that he was the only one who was charged, and everyone else seemed to be witnesses. And yeah, so I find it really weird. Fraser and you're going, Joe. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say he copped the raw end of the stick for sure on that. That's a real hard whack he got given.
Dude, he's been in jail for 4 years, nearly 5 years.
Oh no, I'm looking at 25. Like.
Well, yeah, that's the going time for a charge like that, 100%. The Titty terrorists are already out. They're already out. But look, it's serious charges, man. Serious. So I don't know what you can do about it. You just have to plead with the judge. Hopefully you get appealed to the high court is what he's trying to do, according to the media. So we'll see how he goes, but that's a long time in jail. What kind of person is he going to be when he gets out? You know, that's you're going to think. You lock someone up for 25 years, they're not going to be a normal citizen when they get out. So what are you creating a bigger problem? That's what I like.
Put a chip on their shoulder. And martyrs him too. So, yeah.
Well, he's a bit. I don't think he's martyred. If they did it to Blair, that would have been something crazy. I definitely think. Well, yeah. But look, at the end of the day, it's not a conspiracy. It's an open conspiracy. The cops just want us to do something stupid, and they want to be able to throw it on the front page. Not all the cops, but the high-ranking, senior sergeants and the ones who are looking for a promotion. The average cops are pretty good. They're usually just do their shift, get overtime, and go home. The senior sergeants or the sergeants, they're the ones who want to go up in the ranks, and they're willing to do anything for the Premier. So.
Yeah.
But
they're a lot better out here in the country. So,
they are.
Sydney, different game altogether. Out here, they're very laid back. You can tell the difference crossing the border between a local copper and a Sydney copper straight away. So, just the attitude,
Sydney's cops don't take any shit, man. Like, I went up there. I drove up there from. Remember, this was like years before COVID, and I drove across the border. Yeah, didn't see one cop in Victoria all the way. I think I saw one in the city, and I'm driving across the border. Yeah, cop. The cops are everywhere in Sydney, man. Like, even going into, and they're not. I wouldn't say arseholes, but they're very alpha male and very macho. That's for sure.
Well, they got that New South Wales coppers. They got that history of corruption too. Like they're still stung by that history. So they're all known as being corrupt. Where in Melbourne, the coppers are just known to kill you. So that they weren't corrupt. They just knocked you down there. But in Sydney, they take your money. So it was very different sort of police forces and very different cultures.
Yeah, what was that? Roger Rogerson, fucking
he was
that Asian bloke. That's crazy.
He killed a few, Roger Rogerson. He was.
And what was he like? He was like a commander, wasn't he? Wasn't he commander?
Detective. Detective.
Detective.
Yeah, the Artful Dodger they called him.
Clive is controlled opposition. Okay, well, how? How is he controlled opposition? Please.
He's trying to bring the borders down at the moment.
The government hate Clive Palmer. They hate him. You know who's controlled opposition? Most of Sky News. And I've been saying this there for a while, yeah? Everyone's like, I love Andrew Bolt. Like, I don't know about Andrew Bolt personally, but they all love these people on Sky News. This is the same Sky News that I think they fired a presenter because he had Blair on. They were going to apologise and etc. But I think Paul Murray Live was saying, wear the mask, do what the government said. Like, they're controlled opposition. If people don't know what controlled opposition is, I think it come from Stalin or the communists. I don't know too much about it. But basically, how do you control your enemy? By putting one of your guys ahead of the enemy, as in charge of the enemy. So that's the perfect way to control your enemy, is have your enemy, and then you put one of your guys in to control them. So you know exactly what they're doing, and you can kind of sway them to do certain things. So they believe that Sky News appears to be a right-wing station or appears to be on our side. But when, someone, gatekeepers, Zio grifters, when someone actually comes up the ranks like Blair, he's an extremist, you see it. You see it when the populace pops up, they just shut him down. They like to have their conversations, talk for fucking 10 hours a day about, all they do is talk, complain. Conservatives have failed to conserve anything in the last 40 years. You're still using that same script that doesn't fucking work. Maybe change it up. Try something different.
Alan Jones, you reckon? Same thing? Tarred with the same brush?
I don't want to say personal people. Like Alan Jones has done some good work, but what have they actually done?
Hard at the moment.
What have they actually accomplished? What have they accomplished? All I hear is whinging. I look at the product that they create. So what's the product? Product is you're whinging. Did you change anything? Nope. So what was the point of that? Maybe next time try something different. I don't know. Maybe try something different. Maybe something else will work. Maybe allow someone like Blair to kind of get airtime and push him and fight the sponsors who want to pull ads and, stand on your own 2 feet. Maybe that will work. I don't know. Try something different. Something different the last 40, 50 years, what you've been doing.
Yeah, once they're in that world, that broadcast world, it's all over for them, isn't it? That's where this thing is.
The most saddest thing is I'm not a genius. I'm not that smart, but I can see it. Why can't anyone else? I just don't get it. I don't get how these so-called intellectuals can't see this shit.
It's crazy. It's beyond me. It's so clear for everyone to see. Some people just wear that veil. They can't wake them up. Who knows why?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But look, that's we're about to get off, Elijah, man. Sorry, man. Next week, I'll email you and you come on next week if you want. I just need to know more about you. I don't know who you are. I appreciate the super chats, but I'll give you a call and we'll see. Yeah, what's going on? Sorry, mate. I apologise for tonight. The left are the real racists. Yeah, I think everyone's racist, left and right. Everyone is.
The left are the real fascists, that's for sure. Yeah.
I don't think fascism is that bad, but I think democracy is totally spastic. I don't think democracy works. I believe in that theory. I think Joe Rogan penned that theory about
government.
The magicians. There's only like 10% of the population who are magic, and the rest are just sheep. And the 10% usually make all the industries, invent all the inventions, do all the productivity, and the rest of the 90% of the population are basically just depositors. They are receivers of that hard work and magic. So if you got a democracy where 90% of the population, and I'm not trying to put people down, like are either ignorant or they have they don't have the mind to. If you can't figure out bullshit, how can you vote? If you can't like see the lies in front of your face, how can you vote correctly? The old days, they used to either serve in the military or go to war. That's how you could vote if you're a landowner or if you're a respected community member. And that's what we should go back to. And plus, I don't think there should be any more political parties. If we're going to stay in democracy, okay, get rid of political parties. All independents, and make it micro, little, like I'm talking blocks of areas, and I think even the left would agree with this. Like a little, like couple of blocks in a certain suburb, they can vote a candidate. Yeah, and if you do that and you spread it out over the whole country, at least if something stuffs up, you can go to your neighbour and say, mate, what's going on? Like you told us we're going to get all this trash picked up. You haven't done it. Catch you later. I'm going to vote Joe, who lives up the road. He seems a bit more smarter and more competent than you. You know what I mean? Like,
even if they implemented some sort of test, some sort of, that you have to answer 10 questions or, 15 questions before you can vote to show that you understand at least the bloody, the issues of the day and what the people's, what their goals are and what their objectives are. So at least if you had some sort of comprehension on the facts that you're voting, that would be, better than just going in and listening to whatever your mate said or whatever the news says or,
Well, the other problem, that's half of it. The other half is the education system. And if you're going to school and you're hearing how bad all the white people are, and you get out, you're going to vote for like someone based on their skin color, not based on their, that leads me on to another thing. I'm not going to be on too long tonight, guys, but it leads me on to another thing. Like there are issues with Aboriginal people in this country, but in no way it compares to what's going on in America or what happened in America with slavery. The real slavery in Australia, the only documented slavery was white people. And I'm not even from a First Fleet. I'm like half Irish, half Swedish. When the First Fleet come, did you think they wanted to come here? No, they didn't. They were brought here for like small crimes. Some of them were even innocent and they're stealing bread. They were brought here as slaves. They had to work, I think, for 20 years or 10, don't quote me on this, but like years to even be free.
Yeah, chain gangs.
The Aboriginals didn't. The white people did. The chain gangs. They had to work for free. They did not want to come here. No one wanted to come to Australia. They were happy in England where it was like cool weather. Like back then, I know now everyone wants to go, to hot weather and tropical area. That's because we've got air conditioning and we've got fridges and shit like that. Back then, they didn't have that. No one wanted to go to hot tropical areas or hot desert areas. It wasn't a popular thing back then. They wanted to stay in England. But they were brought here.
That no one survives.
Yeah, like half the people died on the boat, rapes, murders, fucking all shit was going on in their boats. They were treated like dirt. And then when they worked for free, they were released. And I think they could work and get some land, and because land was fucking cheap. I don't remember that. And I'm not putting Aboriginals down. I kind of feel sorry for them sometimes, Like if I was Aboriginal, I'd feel sorry. But then you got to look at the other half of that. Half the Aboriginals are half white anyway. So who's to blame? Half of them? Like the whole racial argument is getting out of control. It's like so many African Americans are shot in America. I think 9 are killed a year and 11 white people a year. How many of them non-African Americans have white blood in them? So what are you going to turn around and say half the statistics? Like it's getting to semantics now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, we've become that mixed of race or a culture that, yes, or society more to it. That how can you tell? So my great grandmother was stolen generation. There you go. So 116 Aboriginal.
I apologise for my whiteness, my white
You
privilege.
don't have to. I don't apologise for mine. So
I know you can't see. I know you can't see because I'm on audio, but I'm kneeling. I'm kneeling for you and your heritage
Mate,
and the
just pay me
wrongs
my
that
reparations.
my Swedish ancestors committed on your people.
No, I'll just take that reparation check and I'm sweet. Yeah.
I think we've given a lot of money. I think the old famous. But no, like the old famous. I think where Pauline got really from. So don't quote me. I might have this story wrong, but apparently we gave billions of dollars to the Aboriginal people. It was wasted. Yeah, I don't mind giving them money as long as it's used correctly. They were given billions of dollars, and it was a photo of an Aboriginal lady outside of a pub, and she was begging, and she was dressed in rags. I don't know the full story, but she was sitting outside the pub. 60 years later, Pauline Hanson comes in 1996 or whatever, and she releases another photo from like last week, and she's like, "We've spent this much money and nothing has changed. What are we spending the money on?" You know, people need to ask that. It's a lot of money. Like, I don't mind giving people money, you know, under this democracy or capitalist system, but make sure it goes to the correct places. Like, you know, when I went up to Alice Springs or to Ayers Rock with the boys, when we went to climb Ayers Rock, mate, I don't know that because we nearly got fucking ambushed, man, at a service station by a bunch of local Aboriginals. Yeah, not all of them were bad, but they just appeared out of the forest, man. Like it was like in the middle of nowhere. This one service station, a couple of Indian owners, man, were shitting themselves. So they all come over, but they were all driving brand new cars, like brand new Holdens.
No, well, I spent 2 years on the showgrounds just doing carnivals and stuff like that, travelling around. We spent months in Aboriginal communities, outback Queensland and all around that area. And that was wild. It was wild. It was a lawless society. Once you get out there, the police, you know, they're only in town a couple of hours a day. Some of them communities, you know, they're 100, 200 Ks from the nearest town, and they're absolutely crazy. So, you know, all brand new houses, beautiful streets, you know, brand new bloody fridges and TVs and all that. The fridges they take outside and store their clothes in them. The fences they rip down and start fires. The kids don't go to school. All day they just run around fighting and playing rugby, and that was about all they'd done. So we had a Vietnam vet that was walking through, and a heap of kids started throwing rocks at him and split his head open, and they robbed our canteen every night. It was absolutely crazy. I had to sleep in the canteen. One night, I reckon 10 times I had to chase off these kids that kept breaking in. It was wild. Once we got there, the elders told us, you know, make sure that you lock up the trucks and all that very well. They said that there was a major problem up there at the time. We're in Woorabinda, which is just west of Lockhampton. And when we were there, the community had a major issue with people injecting petrol, apparently. So, yeah, they'd steal the petrol from
injecting petrol.
Injecting petrol, man. The fucking elders come up to us.
Premium or standard unleaded?
Anything they can get their hands on, but they take out the bloody straight out the sump tank. Hang
on. What the hell would that do? What would injecting petrol do?
I don't know, bro.
Would that just make you sick?
Fuck you up. You'd think so, but that's what the elders come to us and
the elders are good, man. The elders know. The elders aren't stupid. You know? They know what's going on. And they do warn people, and you know we're trying to control some of these people, but yeah, what are you going to do? You know, if they're
That was crazy. It was crazy. Seen so much trouble out there.
Yeah, hey, I've got nothing against Aboriginals. I think Aboriginals. I feel really bad for them. I really do. A lot of the time, like I think they look. And I'm not going to be one of these leftists, but when I say an Aboriginal, you look at them differently, and a lot of people do. And I do feel bad for them in society when they walk around, and I know a lot of my supporters will probably say bullshit. No, but mate, you look at Aboriginals. Imagine your confidence, but you know people automatically think you're a scumbag. Like. I do see that myself, and I do feel sorry for them. It's not their. I'm trying to put this in the most nicest terms. It's not their fault, like how they are. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to put out there. Anyway, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But
well, they have been given every opportunity though, and you know you do see some of them that They go, you know, you got to take the most.
I'm not saying they're totally innocent, but what I'm saying is I do feel sorry for them. I do, because it's like
when you see.
And I'm trying to. I'm not saying something in this sentence. There's something I want to say, but I won't say it. But I do feel sorry for them. You know, and they are our people. This is the thing. They are our people. We can't deport them to Africa. Like they're here. Like what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you got to sort the problem, man. You know.
Yeah, 100%. But when they got major, problems in the community, if you've got an iPhone or a fucking Android phone, you maybe just Google, why I shouldn't inject petrol. That'll probably give you an answer right there, or why I shouldn't, do this or do that. I won't go into some of the other issues of their community.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and recite the propaganda that's coming out of the left about the Aboriginals, the deaths in custody. More white people die in custody, man. Suicides, fucking murders. It happens to everyone. I'm not believing that shit. But I'm not going to sit here and
they have their own units. Like in the jails here, they have units that are carpeted. They have all the best utensils. They get access to all the best programs. They do better in jail here than the whites. 100%. They're treated as a whole nother level. They have.
They've got their own courts. They've got their own courts.
Yeah, they've got their own units with carpet.
Yeah. I don't buy this bullshit that comes out of the left. This is all left-wing talking points, because obviously we all know, or most of us know what's going on. It's because poor versus the rich isn't working anymore, class warfare, so they've got to use race. And that's the only thing they can use these days because there's such a big middle class, and that's what they're trying to destroy. So if we go back to the 20s or that's when they had the class warfare, poor versus the rich, and you could do it back then because there was so many poor people and there was only so little rich people, so they could get the people to rise up. Now everyone's kind of got money, and equivalent. Like obviously a lot of us don't have that much money, but in equivalency to back then, we're middle class. Like we've got money for food, money for computers, internet, iPhone. Like we have money, so they can't use that. So what they use is they use the poor Aboriginals to push their arguments.
Yeah, and even the homeless and that in Melbourne, like they have these homeless vans that go around to all the shelters and stuff like that, and the food they get given for free is absolutely amazing. Well, they rock up every night. They have all the pies and sandwiches and frozen meals and stuff from the the local servos and all the local shops, and they do that every night. There's places in the city, right next to the Crown Casino there, underneath the bridge. Once a week they have a homeless bloody meal night. They just cook meals for the homeless, and then the Salvos has a bloody place in Burke Street where you can go for lunch every day. It's a free lunch. It's like there might be a lasagna and it's a nice big plate. Free lunch every day. So there's no reason for anybody to go without this country. Everything's provided for us.
Yeah, majority of the homeless have alcohol, drug dependency issues, and mental illness. The problem is they closed down all the mental institutions like Mont Park in Bundoora. We used to go through there when we were teenagers. Man, Larundel, like it was all empty, empty house. That's where these people used to go, and they used to help them. But they axed all the funding, and certain part of the population they like being homeless. Like, I mean, obviously some people do become homeless for short term, but most of them like it. They like to live that lifestyle, that transient lifestyle of doing drugs and living on the street and begging. Hey, they make a lot of money begging too. I see them in the city, man. A lot of them make a bit of money.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And buddy, them homeless shelters. I spent 6 weeks in one once upon a time when I was a young fella, and it was absolutely crazy. I seen a bloke walk in with a pencil, and he asked for a bedroom, and they said no, they wouldn't give him one. So he walked into the office and he asked for a pencil, and he walked back out. He stabbed himself in the stomach with the pencil and pushed it in with his finger until the pencil disappeared. He said, "How about a room now?" So they rushed him to the St. Vinny's Hospital, operated on him. He stayed for a week. He come back to the thing. They gave him a room straight away. A couple of days later, he was hearing voices in his room, so he got a knife. He cut his arm open and he bit the muscle and pulled it out with his teeth in his forearm.
What?
Yeah, absolutely crazy it was. So he was a bad self. He was an old guy too. He was like 66 or something like that. Chopper had written about him in his books, and Graham. I won't say his name, but he was a good old fella, but a hard time he had. And he was constantly just doing crazy shit like that. But yeah, he was in them places all the time. He loved it.
Hey, do you remember we were like 13 or 14? I don't know if you were there that night when we went to see Martin and we saw that guy get his throat slit.
Nah, I missed that one.
No, you missed that. Like 13, I saw some dude get his throat cut open. He's laying on the. I think he died. I don't know. Yeah,
I shouldn't laugh. It's Heidelberg, bro. It's Heidelberg.
Yeah, man. Like they think the world's gotten worse. No, I think it's gotten better. Like I remember walking over from primary school, seeing syringes everywhere. Like,
100%.
Like crazy shit. And I could get into a lot of stuff, but I think the world's gotten a lot better since what it used to be like.
Remember they had the Lebanese Tigers? Remember they come to our school? They drove up on the oval and they after one of the boys, and they end up chasing him around and going into the office, and it was absolutely wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun and games.
Shit. Well, all right, we'll probably end it there. I don't know if there's much more to talk about. It had some good views, like 60, 70 views, the whole stream. That's very promising.
Good
But
news,
yeah, I'm gonna try and get Blair on next week. I'll get you on too, Jared. We'll have a chat.
Yeah,
Obviously,
sure.
Blair's busy. I knew it would probably happen, but I tried to get him on. Sorry, guys. But we'll try it next Wednesday, and yeah.
Go for it. Hopefully, you'll have a webcam by then, eh?
Well, because I found out early this morning, I was going to go buy one. Like I've got my phone, I can go on other people's streams, but the host one, I have to use audio. So I'm not hiding. I've got a $3,500 computer I just bought. I built it myself, and yeah, I just don't have anything set up on it. It's just for gaming, and I might even stream games soon as well. So we'll see how that goes. Been getting into a bit of gaming. All right, so what's going on with you, Jared? Much else? Your court case is coming up, yeah?
Postponed till November, so at the moment it's just waiting to see what happens with Clive's case. That'll be a big one for me. Just looking forward to my payday really when I win. So yeah, we're going to go on for everything.
That's it. Go for it, man. And by the way, I tried to get Matty on tonight. He didn't want to come on. He's busy doing something. Yeah, so I'll get Matty on next time. I think he was what was he doing? He's playing with his aeroplane models. He builds models all the time. Like his room's full of them. He's got like aeroplane models everywhere. No, I'm just joking. No, he's busy. He's busy doing something else.
He had to clean his glasses.
He's got a text. Yeah, he had to clean his glasses. So you haven't done my stream yet, my Twitch. Funnily enough, my email didn't work on Twitch. It's black banned because of the name of the email. That's interesting. Pre-ban on Twitch. But anyway, guys, we'll let you go. Thanks for coming on, Jared.
Nah, pleasure. Thanks for having me again, mate.
Thanks for all the super chats, Elijah and everyone else. Appreciate it. And Elijah, I'll try and get you on next week. I'll give you a buzz. I'll email you for your phone number, and I'll have a chat to you, see who you are, and all that. You know, got to be careful these days. And we'll try and get you on next Wednesday, maybe even when Blair's on.
Good man, Elijah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing his ethnic Greek dance, mate. He's eating his fucking, what do they eat in Greece? Suva. He's eating his suva. He's cooking suvas, mate. Matty. Greek and shit.
Yeah.
Is he from southern Greece or north? I don't know.
That's one you'd have to ask him.
Yeah. I've always made it a rule never have kids with Greek chicks. I'll get into that. He won't like what I have to say about that, but yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch us later. See you, Joe.
Yeah.
Catch up.